We rolling. Here we go. Another episode of Chopping It Up with Cador. I'm Perry White. He's Roger Cador. Look at that yellow up there. That yellow look good. There you go. That's the man right there. Look, I told him look like he's going on a lunch date today. Look at him. He's looking real beachy. Where you going?
I got my Panamanian hat on. I'll be wearing different hats during the course of the shows because I've gotten a lot of different hats. Now I like to. This is a good time for me to wear them and let people know if we could maybe talk about the origin and the history of it.
Your hat. So the hat today is from where?
Actually, I got this hat in Ecuador.
Okay.
But it's called Panamanian hat. It's amazing that the hats are made in Ecuador but sold in Panama as Panama hats.
Go like this on that thing one time for me. Just hit me with that right there. Yeah. All right now. We ready to start the show. Coach, man, first of all, how was I haven't seen you since last Monday, but we have talked over the course of the week. It was homecoming at Southern, so I want to start there. I saw some pictures with you with some former players, and so, how was your weekend and how was homecoming for you, especially as a coach? You're influential, so I'm sure there was a lot of people pulling you to the side.
Well, I don't know about pulling me to the side, but it was wonderful to see some of the former players and relive some of the great moments or some of the moments that we had a lot of fun with. But it's always good to see them now that they're all grown up and they're family members, they're fathers and husbands. And, it's good to see them.
Is it some people you like, man, you know what, you keep on moving. I wasn't looking to I'm just playing.
No.
That happens at homecoming sometimes. I had people, that was talking to me. It was a lot of people I realized I really don't know like that, but they know me. And so a lot of times you get people that try to pull you to the side and, they'll say, Perry, it's like I walk outside, I don't even know who that person was, but it happens. So I figured you being the most popular guy, does that happen to you a lot?
It does happen. But I try to make people feel good about it. When I don't recognize them, I say, hey, man, give me your name, or miss, give me your name, so we can try and, I can try and surmise where they're coming from, so. And
I do lie. I lie and be like, oh, yeah, I remember. How you been doing over the years?
I don't do that. I want to know the name.
Okay. Yeah, I do.
But so it was a good weekend. I saw some of the good players and good people.
So I showed you the video. I kicked a field goal at the game. They wanted me to be a part of the Raising Cane's field goal challenge. Had a lot of haters, didn't think I could kick a field goal, but I booted that thing through. Raising Cane's, I'm looking for y'all. I didn't get no gift card in my basket, so I hope y'all watching. It was supposed to have been $100. I wanted to take Coach out for lunch. So
I'm sure it wasn't Raising Cane's fault. They had no reason to tell you they're going to give you $100 gift certificate and not put it in. That's not how they operate. I think something happened between when Raising Cane gave it to someone and Miss Rankin gave it to someone. Something happened. It got lost some kind of way.
I need an internal investigation. I need my card so I can take.
We're going to just give you another card. We're not going to do an investigation.
Okay. I'll take that, Dean. I'll take that.
Yeah, we'll just talk with Miss Rankin is a good person, and she'll make sure that you get another card.
With that hat, you look like the lead detective on this investigation. I think you'll be able to get to the bottom of it.
I'm not getting to the bottom. She just only give me another card.
Let's talk about Major League Baseball. Outside of homecoming, Major League Baseball took place, and we got two teams that are headed to the World Series now. But for them to get there, they had to play some tough games. And, of course, you and I last talked on Monday, and we discussed some games that were going to be played. A game on Tuesday that was played was the Phillies versus the Padres. And I told you in this one, I was feeling, you remember we talked about, I said I was feeling Philly a little bit. The Padres, of course, had beat the Dodgers, and the Dodgers are not an easy team to get past, but something in me about the Phillies, and I think you were going with the Padres, so let's see how this thing went. In game one in that series, Phillies and the Padres, the Phillies won 2-0. In game two, Phillies and Padres, guess what? Your Padres, they came through with 3 runs, 8-5 in that victory. Then a team I just cannot stand, Coach, the Yankees. The Yankees. Ugh.
You made that clear.
Yeah, I'm going to make it clear every time.
I know. That's
Please.
Okay.
The Yankees, I don't care
when
about
you are the Yankees, there are people who like you who dislike the Yankees.
It's certain teams that, like the Yankees, Duke basketball, the New England Patriots. Just certain teams,
People don't like.
Yeah, I'm just a hater. I guess I'm a hater. The Yankees lost game 1 to the Houston Astros. Now, I think that might be your favorite as we roll along. Houston Astros getting the victory 4-2. And then Thursday in game 2, Houston being able to get it 3-2 over the Yankees. And Friday, game 3 in the Padres and Phillies. Padres come back and lose this one, unfortunately. It was a 4-2. Philly go up 2 runs and win 4-2. Game 3, Astros and Yankees. Saturday. How'd you feel about that when you look at the Houston and the Astros, the Houston Astros and the Yankees series, as we got to that, Astros getting the victory 5-0, and then game 4 against Philly and San Diego falling short by 4 runs, Philly getting the victory. And then yesterday, game 5 for Philly and San Diego came down to it 4-3, 1 run for Philly. And then when you look at for the Astros and the Yankees, 1 run, and that one that separated. Houston Astros going to the World Series of getting a 6-5 victory over the Yankees. So we're going to have a World Series of East Coast versus the South. Houston versus Philly. How you feeling about that one?
Well, Houston may not be considered the South, more Southwest. They may say maybe Southwest a little. But I really like Houston. I want Houston to win because I have a personal interest because of Dusty Baker and our relationship for over 50 years. We've been friends, and we had a really good talk on Wednesday last week. So, I'll probably talk with him later on today and get his feelings, sort of let him celebrate it a little to get it all out of him. But, goes to show you, this is a game of loaded with failure with the game of baseball. But the good teams, see, the Yankees gave the Astros 1 extra out. One thing, when you give teams 4 outs, the good team's going to beat you. And I often taught that to my players, talked about it. 2 things I try to tell them to do. You want to keep the double play in order. Keep the double play in order. And the other thing is not give them more than 3 outs. When you don't do those things, you're asking for problems from a defensive standpoint. The game on Saturday night, when Judd and the center fielder did not make that play, that would have been 3 outs. Come up to the next guy, get the big hit. See, that's how you lose games to good teams. The other thing is that pitchers. I look at when Houston pitchers had to make a pitch with 2 strikes or 3 balls. They were able to really do it. They were able to get, when a big strikeout on Stanton fell behind 3-0, the pitcher, and I can't think of his name right now. I'm looking at him. He's from Venezuela. And he came back and threw curveball. And then he said, I got him set up. And threw that fastball.
Straight down on him.
I mean, this is such a wonderful display of pitching. But not only that, the catcher for the Astros, Martin Maldonado is doing such a great job of giving his pitchers the confidence that they can make the pitch. See, people are watching the game. I'm watching much more than that. I'm watching mannerism. I'm watching Maldonado, what he's doing behind the plate.
And you and I talked about this about a week or 2 ago when we talked about the importance of these different positions, but more so that catcher position. A lot of people underestimate how good a catcher can really make your pitcher.
Oh, he can really. And you caught in your earlier years, so you could understand. Maybe you didn't understand all of the intricate part back then when you were a youngster, but catching is a quarterback.
It is.
You are the quarterback.
You send in the signals. You basically keep everybody. Who's the first person to go talk to the pitcher when it look like he's having a problem?
Useless the catcher.
Yep.
I mean, the shortstop, second base, unless you got a leader on the infield, but the catcher is the one. And Dusty Baker tells me how, he said, Roger, mounting out and make my job so much easier because I can concentrate on other things because I know he's got certain things.
Yep.
And it allowed me to concentrate on other things with other players. And he said, I have to tell my analytic people that all the time, that this guy is a unique player, even though he's hitting 180 something, 170 something. It ain't about the average. We still have a game of failure. But he had 15 home runs. See, people keep missing that. You know, he was squaring the ball. He just wasn't getting a lot of hits. I often think about a great player who won a World Series with Toronto, and he goes by the name of Joe Carter. Joe Carter batted .219. That's barely over the Mendoza line. But Joe Carter drove in 131 runs. Joe Carter, eyes lit up when they had runners on base. He didn't do much when they weren't, and it doesn't matter. If you hit when you got runners on base, this is what's going to do it. And I often think about Joe Carter, and I often talk to young people that that 400, that 300 something hitter may not be as valuable as that 230, 240 hitter.
Because baseball has its sacrifices.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Baseball is loaded with that. I watched the Astros all year. Somebody give up and out to move a run over.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I've watched. Dusty and I talked about how he had to do a sale job with Uriel. Uriel had a terrible year. He batted 240 something after winning the batting title last year. But what his selling point was to the people was, here is a guy who is a born winner, been a part of a national world championship team in Cuba, have won a championship with Houston, and just the greatest defensive first baseman around. But he doesn't play like a 39-year-old player. He plays like a 29-year-old player. He's in really good shape. He loves the game. And now that it's on the money, now it's for the money. He is money because he's hitting the ball all over the place.
Game 1, October the 28th, is going to be between Philly and the Astros. When you look at this series overall, Philadelphia, and you look at Houston, what do you see leading into this game that people out there may not know about these two teams?
Well, Philly's playing really good now. They've got good momentum, and they got 3 or 4 guys can hit the ball out the park. And they got, these two parks are relatively small parks. So I really look at Houston pitching has got to be spot on.
We may see a hitting display perhaps with the
you'll
series.
see you'll see more runs scored.
Yeah.
But you're not going to see a whole bunch of runs.
Yeah.
I still think the pitching is so doing good.
That's the next question I was going to ask in terms of this point in the season. You make it to this series. This is the World Series. Man, your arms got to be ready.
Got to be ready. But also, Perry, the thing that this time of year, what is so doing good is the scouting reports. Oh, my goodness. The scouting reports are just lights out. This is why the team that gives the better scouting report to the team, the scouts that give them to the team, are going to help the team maybe win a game they might have lost. See, that's all it takes. That one game to flip things over. Because just think, had the Yankees been able to win one game, things would have been different. If they had won game 2 in Houston, going into Yankee Stadium, things would have been different. But they didn't.
What's up? We going to Houston? We going to a game? What we doing? We gonna go check out the Astros?
I don't know. I've been asked that question. I've been asked that question if I'm going to go.
I'm looking at you because I know that's your boy, and I'm looking at the schedule. If it gets down to a game 7 or a game 6, it's going to be in Houston. The first 2 games, of course, over in Houston. But if it makes it to those 2 games, I'm looking like, Coach, I'm down for a road trip.
Well, I'm I can't make it for the first on Saturday and Sunday because I have an obligation here, a commitment that I have to live up to. But I also looked at if it gets to 6 and 7, that may be give me all the reasons to get there.
I'll buy the champagne and we're gonna pop the bottle if we need to. If Houston get it, man, come on.
You look like a guy who want to pop the bottle.
I'll be ready. I'll be ready to celebrate. So I'm just letting you know if it gets to the game 6 or 7, because of course game 3, 4, and 5, if 5 is necessary, all 3 of those games will be at Philly. 6 and 7 will be in Houston with game 1 and 2 in Houston. We're gonna kind of let that play itself out in those, but between that 6 and 7, that could be a hell of a celebration for us if the Astros are able to get it done.
And going to a World Series game is different. I've been the one I went was the Yankees and the Braves. 96, I think.
That was a good game. That was a good series.
Yeah, it was a really good series. And it's just a different atmosphere. The fans are more fired up, and there's a lot of energy. So, I just look forward to seeing Dusty and the Astros win. Dusty's a happy man. 55 years he's been in professional baseball.
Just in the profession. 55 years.
From a player to manager to coaching and manager. 55 years.
Wow.
And he's still got a lot of energy left. But, this is a great game. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's a grind. 162 games a year. You got spring training. That's the only downtime is spring training. You just, the players playing, getting themselves ready for the season. You don't have to do much managing. You let your coaches do it, and you watch. And my thing is, I like the fact that when we visit during spring training because you got downtime. You don't have to have all the pressure of trying to worry about getting your team ready to play a game.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's take a break and we'll come back and we'll finish the conversation. Talk a little college football because there's some big news that they dropped yesterday about college game day and where they'll be. So let's take a break. We'll come back. He's Roger Cador. I'm Perry White. It's Chopping It Up with Cador. All right?
It's not working.
Looking to get some keys made, locks rekeyed, or a wide variety of new and used safe? Then look no further than the trusted choice of Alfred Safe and Lock. Conveniently located off of Government Street in Mid-City, Baton Rouge. Trust the expert locksmith at Alfred for all of your residential, commercial, and industrial lock and safe needs. Trusted by Baton Rouge and me, Roger Cador, to protect what is yours since 1946.
Take your fun full throttle with a single touch. There are places to fly high, swing low, or make the old bell ring. Your targets are in sight. Better your game by playing ball of almost every variety. Need to catch your breath? There's a place for that too. Countless ways to play beyond the swing sets. Breck, we're more than a playground. Have a passion? We've got the place. Gear up for where the rubber meets the mud, or stir up memories of a lifetime. Reach new heights, gravitate towards something out of this world, even travel back in time. You might like a little drama in your life, or get in touch with your inner nature lover. Release some pent-up energy while you're at it. There's plenty to do beyond the swing sets. Breck, we're more than a playground.
Smart Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge because BTR is so close and convenient. They're always one step ahead, rather than dead on their feet. So, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. Some Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge. Some don't. The ones that do know BTR is all about being closer, more convenient, with non-stops and short hops to anywhere their business takes them. They also know not flying BTR means more traffic, longer lines, and wasted time. So if it's about going from driveway to runway with a lot less highway, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. It's about time.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
Getting a letter from the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help. Call the tax professionals at Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040. Your go-to tax relief. Getting a letter.
All right, we've paid the bills. We've had our off-air conversations, and we're back chopping it up with Cador. I'm Perry White, and of course, it's
I want you to
Cador.
also tell the listening audience how they can catch us.
You can catch us, of course. Check us out on YouTube. Chopping it up with Roger Cador. Find us on YouTube, okay? Subscribe. It is free. I know you guys go buy your Big Macs and your Hot and Spices and your Popeyes, and you subscribe to your Netflix shows and series and all of those other great things. Those things cost. This right here don't cost us a dime. Coach, it's free to subscribe and be able to check us out and support, and as well as share it. Share us and let everybody know what we're doing. If you're into sports, if you're into good conversation, if you're into wisdom, my man right here, Coach Roger Cador, who I love to have these conversations with, shares a lot of wisdom and be able to tell you about a lot of things going on in life. And this show is going to continue to grow we're about 1 month in, I believe, now of this show. So, we're constantly growing. We got a long way to go, but this is just our chemistry. We're getting better and better. Also, find us on social media, Coach Roger Cador. He's on Facebook as well as Instagram at Roger Cador. You'll be able to catch up with the show as well as what Coach is doing when he's out with his sponsors and his friends and people all around. I saw some pictures from Coach over the weekend with his former players and having a good time over there at Southern University for homecoming. So if you want to keep up with us, also follow that. You can follow me as well as on Facebook. I'm at Perry White, and on Twitter, if you're on Twitter, where is Perry? And so you be able to keep up with he and I on social media, as well as, remember, subscribe. It's the little button. You just push it right down to this video and it says subscribe, and it won't cost you a dime. We don't need your credit card information. We don't need your debit card. We don't need none of that. We just need your support and your love and continued support of sharing this show and telling people what it is that we're doing, okay? And we're going to get better with this thing. And we're talking about getting better. Black college football has just gotten great news this weekend when you talk about getting better. Of course, last weekend was Southern's homecoming. It was Jackson State's homecoming. Those two teams are rivals. They will play each other this weekend, and they're hated rivals. Two fan bases, Coach, that I'm talking about do not like each other at all. Period, point blank. Don't ask to shoot dice. Don't ask to play Monopoly. Don't ask to flip quarters. Don't ask to have lunch. It's not going to happen.
It's like that.
It's deep.
It's deep.
It's deep. It's deep. Perhaps the best, as I like to call it, non-classic football game in all of FCS football. We're not just talking about black college football. We're talking about overall FCS football brings a large crowd, especially when you play this game in Jackson, Mississippi at Veterans Memorial. It holds about 50 to 60,000. You're going to get 50 to 60,000 every time this game is played there. And anytime it's in Baton Rouge, it's going to be a sellout. A.W. Mumford is about 28,000 to 30,000. This game always has a huge interest. And I've always thought when you talk about Southern and Jackson, a lot of people outside of the two fan bases really never truly understand how huge of a game this is, because it doesn't have a classic name that follows it, like you'll follow the Bayou Classic, the Magic City Classic, the Florida Classic. So College Game Day has announced that they're going to be in Jackson, Mississippi for the Southern Jackson game this weekend. And that is huge news when you talk about the national exposure of bringing Kirk Herbstreit and the fellas down to Jackson, Mississippi to put the spotlight.
Lee Corso is coming too?
Lee Corso will be there. Kirk Herbstreit and all those fellas. And man, Coach, when you talk about having that type of exposure, you're a guy as a coach, You have taken the team on a lot of opportunities to be exposed. But when you talk about having that national exposure, to have Southern and Jackson State, who I like to call the pinnacle of HBCU sports, when you talk about fan bases, you talk about two of the best bands that actually make this game, and then you look at the two best football teams right now in the SWAC conference, man, how huge is that to have that spotlight?
Well, it's very good to do it. I think I remember during the heydays of the Bayou Classic when NBC had them, and they could play from Portland, Maine to Portland, Oregon. That was very huge.
I like what you did there.
Yeah.
Portland, Maine to Portland.
Yeah, well, that's really what it is. You were going from East Coast to West Coast.
That's right.
And Portland, Maine to Portland, Oregon. So you had that kind of viewership. But this is a little different. Times are different. We're really fighting for survival to a large extent.
Yeah.
And we're looking for it. And when Jackson hired Coach Prime Sanders, or Coach Deion Sanders, things change. He brought a whole different type of salesmanship
He did.
that had never been done. And the one school that he could have do this with is Jackson.
Yeah.
The people of Mississippi were starving for someone like Deion, someone who can sing praises for them, can make them feel good, and then make them believe. See, that was the one school. I don't think the administrations at other schools would want Deion to be talking.
They can't control him.
Yeah, they would want to control him. See, they didn't in Jackson. This was ideal. I said it at the outset. This is a great situation for Jackson to hire him, and they're gonna let him talk. And I know Ashley Robertson, the AD. He's loving every minute of it.
He's a young, innovative AD. He won AD of the year last year.
Yeah.
You look at the hires that he's made, even in basketball. He hired Mo Williams, who's now the basketball coach there. And you look at what he's been able to do to try to culminate. They had Good Morning America with Michael Strahan reporting at the campus last week for their homecoming. And so to get College Game Day and get that exposure, man, that's good not only for Southern and Jackson State, but as the conference as a whole when you talk about the SWAC.
Yeah, as a whole, but I want to go back to Jackson. When they hired Coach Sanders, Coach Prime, as he's called, the increase in amount of money that have come to Jackson State quadruple. And that's really what it's all about. And if he stays there, if he doesn't take the big check, because they ain't gonna let him be himself at no Power 5 school. They gonna want him to
water it down.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if he stays in Jackson, he could literally build a monster there, a dynasty, in terms of getting big. He can redo his contracts, maybe take 40% of everything over 30,000. You know, he take 40% of the gates. You got me? He's making a ton of money with advertising.
Oh, no doubt.
You know, so he'll make his money and he could pay his coaches. They'll be able to pay the coaches because now he's putting a lot of money into the athletic department. They can pay the coaches better. Will they make the money they're making at Power 5 schools? Never.
No.
But they can earn a good living. And let's be realistic. In Jackson, it's a lot more affordable to live there than it would be in Houston, Atlanta, some of the bigger cities. You got me?
And you're the only show in town because there's nobody else there.
You're the only show in town, and you ain't gonna have all of the pressure. You got me? You know, people don't know. I coached for 40 years, okay? And I coach in a sport that I wouldn't say I had a lot of pressure, you know, because we won, and people say I could say that. But I never felt pressure because it was baseball. But I'm telling you, man, it is so wonderful to be able to coach where they're coaching now
at Jackson, and they can get some of the best players. See, if you got better players and you teach them, you coach them up, you can be successful.
That's right.
So they could do a lot of good things at Jackson by staying there. Money has its limitation. People don't understand that. They say, I want to make it all. Because we live in a world where people place so much emphasis on money. I think you can live a good, comfortable life and be happy. Happiness is the most important thing. It's happy. The person who is happy is better off than the person with all that money and not happy.
I like a lot of that money though too, Coach. I'm just, hey, you know, maybe I'll be a little bit more happy. I know they say the more money, the more problems, but you know, but you know, I would be happy to have some more money in my pocket, no doubt about it. You know, but I understand what you mean when you talk about comfortability and happiness. A lot of times people will sell out their happiness to be stressed out to make that money.
Yeah, and then if you have a family, it's a lot easier to raise them in a city like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, family is important. You know, so. But it is good. Game day's coming. I mean,
I'll be there. You know, I'm gonna be there.
I know you're going.
Yeah, turned up, bright and early. It starts at 8 in the morning. 8 to 11. I'm gonna make a sign, Coach. You wanna know what my sign gonna say?
No.
It's gonna have. I'm gonna tell you anyway. It's gonna have SWAC on the side. It's gonna go down SWAC, but SWAC is gonna have Southern wins another championship. That's what the SWAC stand for. I'm gonna be there. Hopefully, y'all see that on TV. That's what I've got.
Well, I've heard that many times. Remember, we won a lot of championships.
You might be one of the reasons they started that, huh?
No.
Well,
we were when I was coaching. We were winning championship in tennis, track and field, baseball, and maybe every now and then in men's basketball.
Yeah.
So we had really good athletic program going on.
They was just trying to get football together, and they finally got together in the 90s with Pete Richardson. Yeah.
So I was there. You know, you got to understand. I had the privilege of coaching when Marina Casson was coaching football. Pete Richardson came after that. Ben Jobe was coaching basketball.
Yeah, that's a legend. You naming some legends.
Yeah, and a person that two other people they never talk about because they're sports. Johnny Thomas won more championships in track and field, but nobody talk about it. Then Cliff Johnson in tennis. So I had the pleasure. My office was right next to Johnny Thomas.
Oh, man, that was some hell of a conversations.
Yeah, and the thing is, it just worked hard.
Yeah.
Just worked hard. Nobody ever complained about what they didn't have. We just did this thing every day.
That's all it was.
All it was. I mean, you know, now, I mean, it's a little more difficult because people are used to having stuff.
Yeah.
So you can't deny them stuff and expect them to be happy.
Are you saying they spoiled? Is that what you're saying?
They're accustomed to having. I don't want to say spoiled, but they're used to having stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, when you're used to having stuff, it's tough not to have it.
That's right. I feel you what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's just like once you ate, you start go get that filet mignon. You ain't going back to that pork chop.
What they going to get, Coach?
If you eat that filet mignon, you ain't going back to that pork chop.
Hell no, I don't want no more pork chop.
If you can afford to pay for that filet mignon. Because it costs a few pennies.
I'll go eat with you, Coach, because when you come in with their head, they say, where would you like to sit, sir? Yeah, there you go. Hit that thing. There you go. Yeah, I come in there with Coach when he get there. Let's do this. Let's take a break because now he got me hungry. Coach, where we going for lunch? I was going to take you to Cane's. I'm waiting on my card, all right? So I'll get you next time. But we'll be back. We got to pay some bills. It's Chopping Up with Cador. I'm Perry White. He's Roger Cador. See you in just a sec.
From the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help. Call the tax professionals at Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040. Your go-to tax relief.
Looking to get some keys made, locks rekeyed, or a wide variety of new and used safe? Then look no further than the trusted choice of Alfred Safe and Lock. Conveniently located off of Government Street in Mid-City, Baton Rouge. Trust the expert locksmith at Alfred for all of your residential, commercial, and industrial lock and safe needs. Trusted by Baton Rouge and me, Roger Cador, to protect what is yours since 1946.
Take your fun full throttle with a single touch. There are places to fly high, swing low, or make the old bell ring. Your targets are in sight. Better your game by playing ball of almost every variety. Need to catch your breath? There's a place for that too. Countless ways to play beyond the swing sets. Breck, we're more than a playground. Have a passion? We've got the place. Gear up for where the rubber meets the mud, or stir up memories of a lifetime. Reach new heights, gravitate towards something out of this world, even travel back in time. You might like a little drama in your life, or get in touch with your inner nature lover. Release some pent-up energy while you're at it. There's plenty to do beyond the swing sets. Breck, we're more than a playground.
Smart Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge because BTR is so close and convenient. They're always one step ahead, rather than dead on their feet. So, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. Some Baton Rouge business travelers travel out of Baton Rouge. Some don't. The ones that do know BTR is all about being closer, more convenient, with non-stops and short hops to anywhere their business takes them. They also know not flying BTR means more traffic, longer lines, and wasted time. So if it's about going from driveway to runway with a lot less highway, isn't it about time you flew BTR? Baton Rouge Metro Airport. It's about time.
Hey, Coach Roger Cador here. There's something about teamwork that brings the best out in any business. When I need a tow, I call Roadrunner Towing. Roadrunner's 4 generations strong and homegrown right here in Baton Rouge.
Thanks, Coach. There's no job too large or too small. Call Roadrunner for quick, reliable, exceptional service. We don't want an arm and a leg. We just want your toes. And remember, take time each day to be a blessing to someone. Thank you.
Getting a letter from the IRS that you owe back taxes can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. Call Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040 today. We'll help stop garnishments, levies, and seizures immediately. With over 35 years of dealing directly with the IRS, our team of local professionals will help you pay the least amount possible. So if you owe back taxes to the IRS, you need help. Call the tax professionals at Go Tax Resolution in Lafayette at 337-420-1040. Your go-to tax relief.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We had to pay those bills and chopping it up with Roger Cador. I'm Perry White. He's Roger Cador. Coach, we was talking off the air. You was talking about some places to live and travel. You brought up a place. Where'd you say one of the best places they say to live right now?
Little Rock, Arkansas.
Where's the qualities of Little Rock, Arkansas? My mom lives in Little Rock too, so I guess.
Yeah. But it's got a lot of good things going for it. You know, the crime is not as high, even though it's got it, but the affordability.
Yeah.
That's what they were naming the places for affordability.
Yeah. Yeah, Arkansas is not an expensive place at all, you know. Just not, I guess, for a younger generation, if you're looking for being progressive. It doesn't quite give you that, but, you know, Little Rock's not a bad town. Not a bad town at all, you know. I'm good on it.
You good.
My mom always asked me to come back and visit. I said, you know what, maybe you should come down to Louisiana, but we typically go from Baton Rouge up to New Orleans or over to Houston. She actually likes to come down this way. So, yeah, I try to talk everybody to come here instead of me going back there. You know, unless I want some good catfish or something, you know. Can you enjoy some good catfish?
Can I what?
Do you enjoy good catfish?
Yes, I love the catfish in Arkansas.
Yeah, you had some good catfish in Arkansas.
Yes, I have.
See what I'm saying?
Love.
Yeah, so, you know, other than that, if that was a dream place for Roger Cador to live, yep, come on now, I need you to dig deep in there. If that was a dream place in the world for Roger Cador to live, where would you spend your days living?
I tell you, I got 2 places.
Give them to me, because you may put them on my list.
Medellin, Colombia.
Uh-huh.
Oh, what a clean, beautiful place. Lima, Peru.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to kill Cartagena and Panama.
So we all Central and South America.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're good places to live. The people, the culture.
The food must be good.
Yeah, food is good.
Yeah.
Food is good. People know how to cook. People are so nice down there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're poor people, but they're really good people.
Mm-hmm. So out of those 3, give me one. You said Panama,
Well, I gave you
Peru,
4.
and Colombia.
I said Medellin, Colombia, and Cartagena,
Cartagena, okay.
Colombia.
Okay.
But there are other places, you know, I could probably live in.
Are all of these places mountainy? It sounds like, you know, might be in the hill or somewhere. No? Okay.
Medellin got some hill.
Yeah.
And Peru, obviously. Peru is like California on the Pacific Ocean down in South America.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing like California. Los Angeles and San Diego. That's what Peru is.
Okay.
Lima, you know. I like Lima.
That's where it's at? I might need to try out Lima.
Make sure you better be ready for a traffic delay.
Really?
Oh, they got so many people in Lima.
Is it one of those overpopulated, but the infrastructure is in quite
they
probably.
all are like that.
Okay.
All of them in Central and South and Latin America. They never built the infrastructure.
Yeah.
And all the people started coming from forming small town to the big city for work.
Yeah. I read a story about that down in Brazil. They having an overpopulation of the city, Sao Paulo, and all those other cities where people are coming out of the villages, moving into the more urban sprawls and trying to find better life. But it's now leaving the forest and the jungle's more empty, where they're going in now and tearing that stuff down and building up out there. But it was just interesting to see how many people were catching up with the modern times and moving into those cities. I'm a beach guy. So wherever there's a beach with some nice sand, with some clear water, you got me. And that's why I like one of my vacation spots that I like to go to all the time. I'm actually going in December for my birthday. It's Clearwater Beach, Florida.
You like the Clearwater?
Man, voted the best beach in America about 5 or 6 times. It's a nice duck-off place right outside of Tampa Bay in St. Pete. One of my favorite places to go.
I like Florida, too. I like the east coast of Florida, like Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach.
Yeah.
Down in there, you know.
And you see, I'm a little adventurous. I go parasailing. I rent a boat. I go out in the bay. I jet ski. I do all that stuff, man. You catch me out there, folks probably be looking at me crazy, but I like to do all of that stuff, man. I explore and have fun.
I won't do that.
You don't want to do that?
I won't say what I want to say. No.
I know what you want to say. I think I do. You're not trying to go parasailing, man? You go up there and you're a couple
I'm not
hundred.
doing it, Perry. I will put my toe in the water.
That's it?
And that's about it.
Man, I was on a jet ski. I was probably about 2.5 miles off the coast.
Goodness.
And I fell off the thing. I was going so fast and I turned. I fell off. But when you there and that water's, man, you don't see nothing over the horizon at all. And so I got back on and booked it back towards the beach. But, man, I enjoy that type of stuff.
Well, you're young, so
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, you ain't fooling with it, though. I catch you on the beach. I'll bring you a sweet tea or something.
I'm not a beach guy. I'll go sit under a tent on the beach.
Oh, you're not a beach guy at all? Really?
You know, and I grew up swimming in Forest River every day during the summertime growing up.
Really?
That's where I learned, you know.
Pretty good swimmer?
No, but I could see, I knew how to, I could
Yeah.
maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm afraid of what there could be in that water.
There's some stuff in that
I
water.
mean, they got some stuff in that water, man.
Yeah, it is. Okay, I see where you're going. Yeah.
Yeah.
I ran into a couple dolphins and stuff. I have yet to see the shark, but I've seen a couple dolphins out there. But I get what you're saying. You don't want to run into Jaws, is what you're saying.
I'm not worried about Jaws. But there are other stuff in there.
Yeah.
With all of the flooding and all of the changing and thing.
Yeah.
Alligators and other stuff probably in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So. But let's talk about something exciting.
Like what?
Anything.
What'd you eat today? Is that exciting?
No.
Well, what are you doing this weekend, man? What is your week like moving forward?
I do have as I mentioned, an obligation for signing.
Okay.
A signing obligation on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be at Shoppers Value.
Okay. Tell the people so
Saturday.
they'll know.
Yeah, Saturday from 8 to 11 or 12, I'll be at Shoppers Value on Plank Road. I'll be signing free T-shirts with Southern on there. I'll sign my name. We're giving away free T-shirts. So if anybody is still not going to the game in Jackson, you come on, you'll be able to get a free T-shirt.
You wearing that hat, or you gonna wear a hat? What you wearing?
I'll wear my hat now.
Yeah.
I'll be wearing different color hats on this show.
And that's exciting. Let's talk about, you talked about your hats. What goes into a man picking a hat, particularly Roger Cador?
Well, I just try to buy from different countries.
Mm-hmm.
They may not be typical the hat I would normally, but they wear them in the country. You got me?
Mm-hmm.
And the most colorful hats I have are from Colombia. I bought several hats in Colombia because the colors. I remember I was in Peru, and I saw a gentleman with a really unique looking hat, and I stopped him.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, where is this hat from? He said, "Oh, I'm from Colombia. This is a hat from my country." I said, "Man, this is a unique hat." He said, "Maybe when you come visit my country, you'll be able to buy one." And a year later, I visit, and I bought several.
You found that hat or something similar to it?
His hat was so unique and different, I couldn't find it. But I bought what I could.
Uh-huh.
So, but this here is a really nice fitting cap. I like the way it fit. I bought a few and gave to my friends, pass them out to them because the cost was a lot better. I could buy in Ecuador. The cost was 4 times less than what I could buy them anywhere else.
That's right.
Because I bought them when they were made.
Mm-hmm.
So I loaded up and got some because I said, y'all gonna pay $100 somewhere here for these, And these are all handmade. The people, everything. I have some neckties that are one of a kind from Panama.
Okay.
And the thing is, the people who make them they're from a village, an island in Panama on the outskirts. Very short ladies. And they say it takes them up to a month, 6 weeks.
Really?
To make one tie.
You probably tower over all of these people.
Yeah, they like the fact when I walk in there. And they were all short little ladies. And it's, and they make them. And what I do, I try to buy as many as I can because they're selling them at dirt cheap. It's what happened. Some of the big people go in and buy them.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go and sell them in their place for 3 times what they purchase them for, which is business. That's what they do.
Well, don't forget about your friend over here next time you get a hat, man.
Yeah.
I may accept the hat and say, man, my good friend Roger Cador got me this hat for my birthday. How about that?
I'll think about you, Mr. White.
I think about you when I go to Clearwater. They make keychains and stuff. I'll try to find you something. I'll find you something. I'll get you a shirt or something from Clearwater. How about that?
You probably ain't going to find one that fit me.
They got your size. Trust me. They got your size. All right. They got your size. But yeah, I'll take a hat. I'll rock my hat. Maybe then we can do a hat show together. How about that?
You going to rock the baby?
What does that mean?
Well, the big first baseman for Cleveland hit a home run against the Yankees. He's a Canadian guy, and he was running around the bases, rocking the baby. The first time I heard it was Chick Hearn. Chick Hearn was the great announcer for the Lakers. I know you never heard of Chick Hearn. Great
Might
announcer,
be before my time.
announcer, and he was Dr. J.
Yeah.
They were playing. Philly were playing the Lakers, and Dr. J cuffed one from the side. And Chip said, "Ooh, Dr. J rocked the baby," and he jammed it. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, Chick was the first one to say it. Now Garcia, the pitcher from the Astros, does it, and they call it rocking the baby.
Rocking the baby. I always thought that was just putting you to sleep. Like,
Well, that's rocking the baby.
Yeah, we're putting you to sleep.
Well, that's the way they rock the baby. So those are classic moments. You know, a lot of people out there who are listening, they'll know about Chick Hearn. And I'm big on historical things that happen and relive them and bring them back. You know, when I was growing up, everybody had a nickname.
What was your nickname?
Baby.
Anybody call you that to this day, or you got to?
Unless my sister will.
Can I call you Baby?
Yeah, you can. But there are people like
I'm
instance,
PJ and you Baby now. How about that?
That's okay.
Okay.
But that was I will never forget it. Two places it happened to me. I was in Savannah, Georgia, 1975.
That hat fits you well in Savannah, Georgia, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was downtown Savannah, Georgia, and I heard that name called.
Baby.
I said, there's got to be someone who knows me good. And it was a guy that did. And then it goes in 1977 in Knoxville, Tennessee. I heard that name call again.
Baby.
Said, that person got to know who I am. And we competed against each other when he played at Port Allen Cone High School in basketball. So those were two things where I was way out of my element. And the name was Baby. And I knew that they had to know who I was.
Roger Baby Cador.
No.
No, just, we ain't going to add it like that. We just going to do Baby. All right. All right. I was trying to add it and put a little flair to it. Don't do that.
I'm going to let you have fun, Perry. You're enjoying yourself. It's nothing more.
You said
more
something
rewarding.
exciting.
It's nothing more rewarding to see a person happy.
Well, my nickname, I was Gator. So you Baby, I'm Gator. So, you know, we can rock with that. And I know if somebody call me Gator, you got to really know me.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So, you know, getting ready to come down to the end of another show, Baby and PJ. And it's been a good show.
They're all good.
And I hope everybody can hear us good. You know, try to talk loud and get these things going. But, Coach, you know, for everybody else out there, man, you know, you said you're going to be signing where? Let them know again.
At the Shoppers Value on Plank Road Saturday from 8 to 12. Come out, get a free T-shirt, a Southern T-shirt at that, and tell them about how they could catch us on the podcast.
You can catch us at Chopping It Up at Roger Cador on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe. It is free, don't cost you a thing. You can follow Coach Roger Cador on social media, on his Facebook page as well as his Instagram. And you can follow me, Perry White, on Facebook, and I'm Where's Perry on Twitter. You be able to keep up with the show and check us out and what we do. And leading up into this, we do this thing every Monday. If you're not able to catch us live on Monday at 10 a.m., you can always go back, like he said, and catch us on YouTube and subscribe. Hit that little notification. It'll give you every time we go on live and every time we upload another episode. And so, you know, we appreciate everybody's support out there. We're growing. We're 1 month in of Coach Cador and I, and it's been a good ride so far. We hope to keep this thing going. We're 1 month in. 1 month, Coach. 1 month.
Well, we're going to try to get some big name people to come in. I spoke with Harold Reynolds with Major League Baseball. We'll bring Harold in maybe as our first guest. We're working our way there.
Try to get maybe Dusty if they can win
Dusty.
that World Series,
we'll
man.
We'll get Dusty. He always comes. Dusty's a friend.
Yeah.
So, you know. But I understand his schedule better than most people, and I know what he like to do. I'll have to let him unwind. He's had a long season.
Yeah.
He like to go hunting and fishing. So I've got to let him get all of that behind him.
Yeah, decompress.
Yeah, you know, when you know your people, you understand what you can do.
That's right.
Okay.
I think people that know me, they know I like to eat. So when they get me, they feed me. That's what I like. All right. So, hey, we want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Once again, he's Roger Cador. I'm Perry White. And it's been a great show, Coach. Once again, I've enjoyed it. And we'll be back next Monday, 10 a.m. So if you catch us live, you can tune into our YouTube channel and catch us live. If not, remember to subscribe to Roger Cador, Chopping It Up with Coach Cador on YouTube. All right. So we'll be back next week. Coach, give him that what you do, Coach. Hey, we out.